My parents own two homes and are willing one each to my sister and myself. They went to a local attorney to write up the request. I don't know exactly how the attorney is planning to make the transaction upon their death, but wanted to know how best to have these properties transferred before bringing the subject up to my parents. Jeff, do you have anything on a tax side that you want to talk about there?
Well, from my point of view, inheriting the property is going to be the best way to go, especially if it's appreciated property.
And someone just responded, it sounds like it's in Ohio. Actually, I can give you a great Ohio example because this is real life. So the parent wanted to get everything to the kids, and this is when the estate tax exclusion, which is now at 11.2 million, about to go up per spouse. This is when it was about $1 million. And everybody's freaking out like, oh my goodness, your estate's going to be too big and you're going to get clubbed with this estate tax. So this attorney set up a limited partnership and transferred the properties into this limited partnership and then started giving the kids an interest in the limited partnership.
Increasing it every year? Or?
Increasing the contribution every year. He would gift them, and you can give $15,000 per recipient per year without even going against your lifetime exclusion. The reason that he did this was to avoid this tax that ended up being a non-issue. He actually passed, and this estate would have been much smaller. But as Jeff just noted, what they gave up was something called a step up in basis. So number one, the value of these properties will be its basis when they die, which means you want to make sure that this is transferred via either a will or a living trust. Somehow it's transferred to the two of you. I'm assuming that there's no other kids in that, that you're the primary beneficiaries of the estate. But the easiest route would be to use a trust so that you don't have to wait for the state. You don't have to wait for the court to do its thing. I'm not familiar with Ohio off the top of my head, but most states have a cool down period where they don't allow the transfer of assets, especially real estate, for many months after somebody passes. And the reason they do that is they leave the estate open for creditor claims. You could actually petition the court to perhaps sell the asset, but it would be still part of the estate. And on average, and I can only give you averages, these estates take somewhere between 18 months and 24 months to complete. Now, that's an average. Now, somebody's always going to say, well, if you have no assets, it's really easy. I'm like, okay, that's really easy. That's on the low end. Then there's the really difficult where it takes years and years and years, like Prince, where you're going to be in court for many years, or Michael Jackson, all these things where their big assets are going to take a while, but the average means 18. Realistically, with real estate, the minimum is about 6 months. So I would tell your parents to save time and money, to not give you the asset before they have passed, but to leave it to you and to draft a living trust to do the transfer. That would be the simplest. Somebody else may say a paid on death or this, that, or the other. That does not address all the issues that could creep up in the meantime. And so I would caution against those types of things. And I'll just give you a couple. This is a tax webinar, but let me just give you the parade of horribles. Your sister has a creditor, or going through a divorce, or has special needs, is older in life and has a whole bunch of medical bills. They would just end up taking the house. So with the living trust, you can protect that with creditor protection and special needs provisions automatically in the trust, which if you use a good estate planning attorney, they do that automatically. If you use us, for example, I put it in every single document I ever draft. But regardless, you go to the lawyer and you say, hey, we want to make sure that these things are protected and are kept separate, and then, et cetera. Or if somebody predeceases you, it already covers, here's who gets it afterwards. So we use fun language like persterpes and things like that, which means it's not a disease. It's if you're passed, it goes to your children, your portion only. So it makes it really easy instead of doing some craziness. All right. Boys, people keep asking lots of questions. Holy cow. We're going to get to them. I can't help but look at all of these questions coming in and thinking we're going to be here till midnight, Jeff.
He's going to keep me here till midnight.
All right. So, which will be fun. All right. So anyway, so I hope that answers that question. From a tax standpoint, the best thing is to get that step up in basis when you pass, which means you could sell those properties and pay 0 tax on it. Maybe the transfer tax. That's it. Okay.